Hey Victory Kids, Pastor Amy here, and it's so good to see you. Thanks for tuning in to our online weekend service. We have lots of fun things planned. Let's get started.
I can see it clearly now. There's a reason for this sound. It's Jesus. At the core of who I am is the risen Son of Man. It's Jesus. Yeah. You're like no other, for your love is greater, and you are the center of it all. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. Yeah. I exist to bring you praise and to shout no other name but Jesus. Yeah, you're like no other, for your love is greater, and you are the center of it all. It's all about you. 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 You are the first. You are the last. You are my future. 'Cause you took my past. You are the reason why I sing. Yeah. It's all about you. It's all about you.
Hi, Victory Kids. I'm Miss Michelle, and this is my friend Raina. Say hi, Raina.
Hi.
Did you know that our words have power?
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to learn the Victory Confession. I'm going to say it first, and you will follow along with Raina. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here on purpose
I'm here on purpose.
because I have a purpose.
Because I have a purpose.
My heart is open,
My heart is open.
and my mind is ready to receive
And my mind is ready to receive.
because God
Because God
is not finished with me yet.
is not finished with me yet.
My best days
My best days
are right in front of me,
are right in front of me.
and I have victory in my life.
And I have victory in my life.
Because Jesus
Because Jesus
lives in me.
lives in me.
Great job, Victory Kids. Great job, Raina.
God's story, Zacchaeus. So part of God's story is about Zacchaeus, and it begins like this. Once there was a man named Zacchaeus, let's call him Zach, who lived in a town called Jericho. He was short, and he didn't have many friends. In fact, most people hated Zach. That's because he worked as a tax collector. See, back then people paid taxes just like now. But instead of sending money to the government, there were men in every city whose job was taking tax money from people. Problem is, those men usually lied. Zach, like most, took a lot of extra money from a lot of people, and all those people hated him. Anyway, one day Jesus came to Zach's town, and Zach wanted to see him, but so did everybody else. And remember how Zach was really short? Well, he couldn't see Jesus over everybody else's head. So guess what he did? He actually climbed up into a tree to look out over everybody. Now, imagine a grown man climbing up in a tree in the middle of a crowd. People probably thought he was crazy or weird. But Zach was willing to look weird if it meant getting closer to Jesus. From up in the tree, Zach watched as Jesus walked up. Jesus said, "Zacchaeus, hurry down. Today is my day to be a guest in your home." This was kind of like a famous person inviting themselves over, except way better. This invitation would change Zach's life. Zach scrambled down the tree to take Jesus to his house. Maybe he thought Jesus didn't know about all the money he had taken or how everybody hated him. But Jesus did know, and he loved Zach anyways. Other people saw this and they were mad. They said, "Jesus has gone into the house of a sinner." They wondered how Jesus could love somebody who had lied and stole their money. The great thing is, Jesus loves all of us, even after we've done things we deserve to get in trouble for, or even after we actually get in trouble. When we see that Jesus loves us anyway, it makes us want to show that kind of love to others. At least that's what happened to Zach. Right away, he wanted to make things right with the people he had hurt. He knew that just saying "I'm sorry" wasn't enough. So he told Jesus, "I'm going to give half of what I have to the poor, and anyone I cheated, I will pay back 4 times the amount of money I took." When Jesus saw that Zach was willing to accept his love and turn around and show it to others, he said, "My friend, today God has rescued you." And even though Zach had been a liar and a thief who was hated by everyone, he became a friend of Jesus and a part of God's family that very day. And that's the story of Zacchaeus. So, in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Zach was short. He was a tax collector. He stole money. People hated him. Jesus came to town. Zach couldn't see him. He climbed a tree. Jesus told him to come down. Jesus went to his house. Jesus loved Zach. Others were mad. Zach made things right. He became a part of God's family. And that's a part of God's story.
Hey Victory Kids, Pastor Amy here, and it's time to go over our monthly memory verse. This month, our verse is found in the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 38, and it says this: "Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and poured into your lap." Found in Luke 6:38. Now I want you to watch carefully as I teach you the motions. They go like this: give, take your hands and put both palms up. And it will be given to you. Take your thumbs and point to yourself. A good measure, take your fingers just like this. Press down, take your hands and move them down. Shaken together, make some fists and shake them back and forth. Running over, take your hands and move them in front of yourself. And pour it into your lap, just like you're pouring from a pitcher. Luke 6:38, opening your hands just like you're opening a Bible. Pretty easy, right? Now this time I want you to join in and do the motions with me. Ready? Here we go. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and poured into your lap. Luke 6:38. Great job. All right, we're gonna do it one more time. This time I want you to stand up on your feet right where you're at. Ready? Here we go. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and poured into your lap. Luke 6:38. Great job, Victory Kids. You can go ahead and sit back down.
Hey Victory Kids, Pastor Alex here, and I am so excited because we are about to play How to Say It. This is our memory verse game for today. So, on the screen, there's going to be some ideas rolling, and then all of a sudden it's going to stop on the idea that we want you to do. So you can hop up on your feet and get ready for our memory verse, How to Say It.
Hi, Victory Kids. Are you ready? Okay. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be poured into your lap. Luke 6:38. Hello, Victory Kids. Are you ready? Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be poured into your lap. Luke 6:38.
All right, Victory Kids. Are you ready? Okay, this time we're going to whisper. Ready? Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be poured into your lap. Luke 6:38.
Hey Victory Kids, so glad you're here. I am so excited to be telling you about my very favorite Bible story. We are learning about the story of Zacchaeus today, but while you're watching, I want you to grab the remote or make sure your finger is ready to push the button. When you hear something that sounds generous, I want you to push pause and I want you to tell your family what you heard as generous in the story. All right, let's get started. So the story of Zacchaeus goes like this. Jesus was coming to the town of Jericho so that he could tell people about the good news. So Jesus was walking through and there was a man named Zacchaeus. Now Zacchaeus was really, really short, but he was also really, really excited to see Jesus. And he didn't want to miss it, but he knew if there were crowds of people, he wouldn't be able to see him. So he got a really creative idea and he climbed up the tree. So he climbed up this tree way, way high and he sat down. And he sat there waiting for Jesus to come to town. And while he was waiting, he saw crowds of people coming around. And then all of a sudden, Jesus walks through. And Jesus didn't just walk through, but he said, "Zacchaeus, come down here." And you know what? The disciples said, "What? Zacchaeus, come down." They said, "Jesus, do you know who this man is?" The disciples were so shocked because Zacchaeus, he was a tax collector. And that means he would collect money from people. But you know what? He lied to the people and he told them that he needed more money so that he could keep that money for himself. So they saw Zacchaeus as a thief, as someone who just stole things. So the disciples were so shocked because they were like, "Jesus, you want to be friends with a thief?" But you know what? Jesus, he didn't care. He said, "Zacchaeus, I'm going to your house today." So Zacchaeus and Jesus and the disciples all went to Zacchaeus' house. And you know, once they got there, Zacchaeus fed the disciples and he fed Jesus. And you know what Zacchaeus said? He said, "Guess what? I am going to give half of everything that I own to the poor. And you know what? Anything that I stole or took dishonestly, even if I didn't know about it, I'm going to give it back to those people 4 times. You see, Zacchaeus, he had seen Jesus be generous to him, and then Zacchaeus wanted to be just like Jesus. So he wanted to be generous to other people. And remember, in Victory Kids, we say generosity isn't just I give, but it is I want to give. Our hearts are ready to give to others. And it's not just things that we can give, but we can give of ourselves. We can give kindness, love, attention, and so many things. So remember, our verse for love gives is Luke 6:38. Give and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will it be poured into your lap. That means when we give a little, we actually give a lot, and we get a lot in return. All right, Victory Kids, thanks for learning about generosity with me today. See you later.
Hey Victory Kids, I hope you all are doing well. Wherever you are, I just hope you're having fun, but you're also staying safe. But I know a lot of you probably know me. My name is Miss Avery if you don't. And I lead worship up on the elementary floor in Victory Kids, and I love it. And we're about to worship in a second. But I know our world is a little crazy right now. I know life looks a little different for a lot of you kids, and that's okay. You know what? And God is going to take care of us. But what's really cool is we don't just have to have church at Victory. We can have church in our homes. We can have church wherever we are, because we always know that God will come and be with us whenever we ask him to be, because he's always with us. He never leaves us. And so we're just going to sing to him today, even if it's in our bedroom or even if it's in our living room or wherever we are. We're going to sing to him and know that he's going to show up. So we're about to sing this really, really easy song, and it's called Speak to Me. And we sing it in the elementary services a lot. So a lot of you guys are going to know it. So sing along with me if you know it, and if you don't, it's super easy and you'll learn it quickly. But whenever you do, feel free to join along with me. Let's worship together. All right, here we go. Speak to me. Speak to me, Jesus. Speak to me. I'm listening. Come on, let's sing it again. Speak to me. Speak to me. Speak to me. I'm listening. Come on, let's sing I'll obey. And I'll obey. I'll obey. And I'll obey every word you say. Come on, one more time, sing I'll obey. And I'll obey. I'll obey. And I'll obey every word you say. Awesome job, Victory Kids. You all are amazing worshipers, and I love worshiping with you, whether we're together or whether we're apart. I love it. But I would encourage you today, after hearing this song, to just take time and listen to what God would have to say to you, because he wants to speak to you wherever you are. And so just take time to listen. And if you get something that you feel free to share it with your parents, share it with your grandparents, whoever you're with, share it. And if they want to post it and tag Victory Kids or Victory Worship, that would be amazing, because then I could even see what God is sharing with you. But I love you all so, so much, and I hope you're staying safe, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.
Hey Victory Kids, I hope you had a great time today. Thanks for tuning in. Now remember, stay connected with us this week through Instagram and Facebook for lots of fun activities that we get to do together. I'll see you guys soon.